Well, hey guys, welcome to Hog Boss Pickleball. I'm excited that you're here checking us out, and I'm excited to be able to really take the first step in paddle reviews. I have one video I think that I've started with, but I'm really going to intentionally try to start posting consistently, taking this next step consistently. But I also wanted to be able to start with a journey. I'm calling it a journey through the past. And it's a journey through the paddles that I started with all the way until where I'm at now with the paddle I use now. And I'm excited for you to come along in this journey because I think it's so cool to just to be able, one, to look back at the past, look back at the paddles we started with, but also to look at how the technology has really changed, how things are so different now in pickleball, where even like the pros are talking about people switching over to eye protection because the power of the paddles that are being released today. So yeah, through the journey, I'll have real paddles reviews as new paddles are coming out. But I also just wanted to start with my first ever paddle. And this paddle, I'm sure you've know about it or have heard about it. But it's an exciting paddle, I think, to talk about. It's just the way it was built, the way it was constructed. It's just a unique and really fun, cool paddle. And that paddle is called the Onyx Z5. And this is my first ever paddle that I bought. I played one time before I bought a paddle, and I was like, when I bought this, I thought it was going to be the best paddle I've ever seen. Everything I saw about it said it was powerful, and I didn't really realize there was anything other than power. If you could hit hard in pickleball, I thought you could win. So I learned really quickly that that isn't the case. But the Z5 was a great paddle to start with in my mind, at least for me. I'd never used any other paddles really. I had never played any sports that required a paddle or a racket, so this was the first kind of step towards learning how to use a paddle. So let's get down to the stats because the stats are so important. This is a Nomax core, which is high tech. It's a graphite face, really high tech, really unique, really game changing. It's 15.5 inches long. The width of the paddle is 8.5 inches. The average paddle height is 7.9 ounces. The grip circumference is 4.5 inches, and the grip type is perforated cushion. The handle length is 5 inches, so just like Tyson McGuffin's paddle, basically the same paddle, honestly. And it is USPA approved. So if you want to go play a tournament, go to the PPA tour and just really be effective, this might be the paddle for you. If you're just diving into the pickleball world, this paddle is, man, it's just unique and so comfortable. So let's first off, let's just talk about the build quality. The Onyx Z5 is crafted with just precision and durability really in mind as you just see the features of this paddle. Like if you're looking at the handle, you can see the inside of it. That way you can tell if it's cracking or not. It's a really unique feature that most paddles don't have, but this one does, and it's really unique how it's not connected to anything. So if it falls off, it falls off. And that's a unique feature because then you can replace the handle really quickly, as you do in pickleball. But the honeycomb core provides a perfect balance of just power and control, really just unique in that way. The power of this paddle, when you're driving, you can hit it pretty hard. It makes a really cool noise as you hit the ball. People love it. It's very loud, makes lots of noise, so everyone knows if you hit the ball or not, which is cool. It's great for driving the ball deep. You can hit the ball hard, and then control really, because there's it's such a smooth face, really. You don't have to worry about accidentally spinning the ball out of bounds, accidentally curving the ball out of bounds. You really don't have to worry about that. So controlling it is so easy, and dinking it is so easy because you don't have to worry about that pesky spin, taking the paddle or the ball away from you. But in all reality, I will say, as we go down to the comfort portion, the comfort of this paddle is actually not bad. It's super light, so if you're older or have elbow issues, you actually can use this paddle. That's probably the only way I would ever recommend it, is if you don't really care about being competitive in a competitive setting like tournaments or anything like that. If you're just using it for fun and you have elbow issues, I mean, you could use this paddle. It would help with that. It's light, it's easy to swing, it's easy to move fast. Your reaction time's really quick with it. So if that's the case, this paddle might be for you. I wouldn't recommend it if you want to take a next step in your journey of playing pickleball, but I mean, it might be for you in that case. It's very comfortable. It reacts really quick. You don't have to worry about being slow at the kitchen line. So, you know, that might be a bonus of this paddle. But overall, I will say, as the first paddle I ever used, as a paddle that introduced me into pickleball, really shaped my game and started my game, I really do enjoy this paddle. It brings a lot of memories back, a lot of just history of learning the game and all the ups and downs of what that took. I didn't use this in any tournament, sadly. I really regret that. I had already moved on from this paddle before I played my first tournament, but it's nice if you are a beginner, but I don't even recommend it if you are a beginner, if you're trying to learn and progress in this sport, because you can buy paddles like the Vatic Prism for cheaper or around the same price that are just so much more advanced, so much better for really taking your game to the next step than what this would be. But as a beginner for me, when I was first learning, first taking those steps, it was a good paddle. I don't regret it. I enjoyed my time with this paddle. I kept it around. I've still used it, but like not recently, but I've used it in the last couple of months for fun. And it didn't disappoint. The feel of it is so different than any other paddle I have. And the sound it makes is so different than any other paddle I have. So I don't regret this paddle at all. I don't recommend this paddle at all either. Again, unless you're someone who has elbow issues or are older and don't really care about playing in tournaments and progressing in that way. If you just want something that's easier on your body, this paddle is actually really good for that. But other than that, I don't recommend this paddle at all. But it was the beginning. It was the first paddle. And it's the beginning of this journey that I'm hoping you guys will continue to join me on as we look at the paddles of the past. And some of them will actually be reviews. There's paddles that I think, even though the technology is so far advanced now, there's still paddles that you can get for cheaper that you could still use and still be effective with. Even the next paddle I'm reviewing, which if you look here, I have the review wall, which this paddle, once we get past this paddle, it'll be replaced. So that review wall will be 5 across for a while because of all the paddles I've used. But we got a queue here of paddles that we will review. But even the next one that I moved on to, which is the Vatic Pro Flash, that paddle was so good, and you could still use it now. I still use it now. Even it still competes and you can still use it. I've played with it in tournaments and it is a very good paddle. And so we'll do actual reviews of the paddles. The Z5, I didn't feel like needed a real review because 1, a lot of people know about it. 2, it's not a great paddle. But as we continue down this journey, I hope you continue to join us. We also have in the link, if you look in the link below, we'll have codes for you for all the brands that I'm ambassador for, And so if you need any codes, you'll be able to go through there and just see if there's any codes that work for you. I'd love for that support if you do that. But also if you would leave a comment or and just let me or give me any advice you have for how I can take this channel to the next step. Anything you would like me to add either in my actual reviews or just in this journey reviews where it's not going to be as serious, but anything that you would like me to add to that, any memories that you have of your paddles that you've started with, I'd love to see those in the comments as well. But just join us on this journey. I think it's going to be a good time. But also in your comments, help me be able to become a better reviewer and a better YouTuber to continue growing this channel as well. Any advice you have for me, I would love to see that. But I'm just so glad that you joined us.